So we are going to be having a very fun video for today. In this video, we are going to be talking about what happened in the Champions League on Tuesday, November 5th. So we are going to be revolving around Victor Gyökeres, a player that has been linked to FC Barcelona very recently, and also speak about Real Madrid's horrible, but I mean horrible performance against AC Milan. And I'm going to give out my own takeaways from that match. So first of all, let's talk about Victor Gyökeres, because it has been reported, according to multiple sources, that Deco has started negotiations to bring in Gyökeres to Barcelona. The player has an agreement with Sporting to let him leave the club for around 60 to 70 million euros. It has also been stated that Barcelona want to include Vitor Roque on a permanent transfer for a possible swap deal for Victor Gyökeres. So this is very exciting because let me tell you, besides Erling Haaland, the one striker that does really excite me, it is Victor Gyökeres, the Swedish number 9. And I strongly do believe that right now, at the moment that I am recording this video, Gyökeres is the best striker in the world. I know that we still have Lewandowski, who is our own player. There is still Kane. Erling Haaland is out there with Man City, but Gyökeres has to be the number 1 striker in the world. He is in top form. And I've always said, right, that in the next summer of 2025, once Joan Laporta goes into that transfer window, the one player that Barcelona should be signing is Erling Haaland. But if Gyökeres continues to go down this route and he ends up scoring, let's just say he finishes off with 45 to 55 goals in one season with Sporting, and there is that chance that we could sign him for around 60 to 70 million euros, we must get that player, because that is a very low transfer fee for somebody who can become monumental for FC Barcelona. And hopefully, if we can successfully include Vitor Roque into this operation and lower the cost to maybe 55 to 60 million euros, that would help us even more. Gyökeres is for sure a player that can replace Lewandowski in about 2 or 3 years. I do think that there's a possibility that in the next season, we can have Lewandowski and Gyökeres fight for the number 9 position and have them simultaneously. It would be a wonderful thing to see because Gyökeres knows how to score goals, and Lewandowski, you have his acrobatic style of also scoring goals. Barcelona do need that. And right now, his stats overall is just so mind-blowing. He has 66 goals in 67 appearances with 23 goals in 16 games this season. Also, if you combine all the top 7 leagues in the world and you get all of the data from the year of 2024, Gyökeres does have the most goals with 48 goals, and then you have Harry Kane with 36. So Gyökeres is leading by a huge margin. And then you do have Lewandowski in 3rd place, Erling Haaland in 4th, and Kylian Mbappe in 5th. I can see a future in a Barcelona attack that does contain a front 3 of Lamine Yamal, Gyökeres, and Rafinha. It brings much more fire up there, right? Because we do have another player that knows how to run and run with great speed. Yes, he is very tall, but that does not stop him from beating defenders into space. Rafinha is also a very fast player. Lamine Yamal, not the fastest, but still fast enough to beat down any marker. Barcelona's attack would be on fire. And in this game against Manchester City, where he scored 3 goals, right? A hat-trick, he showcased to the world why he can be a threat to almost anybody. In the first goal, there was a through pass that was made. Gyökeres receives. He shrugs off the defender named Simpson Pussy, who was one of the center backs of Man City. He throws him. And as you can see through that play, he's a very physical number 9, and then eventually regains the ball, chips the ball over Anderson, and it was the first goal. Then in his second goal, Trincao was dribbling past Guardiola. He was getting the Messi flashbacks, right, from the World Cup of 2022, but Trincao was running through Guardiola. Guardiola could not stop Trincao, who was a ex-Barcelona player, and then Guardiola pushes Trincao from his back. And then Sporting were awarded a penalty, and Gyökeres got the penalty and blasted it to the bottom right corner. And then in the third goal, it was another penalty that he did score, where the winger was trying to run with the ball, but then one of the center backs or one of the defenders of Man City pushed the winger away, and then obviously Gyökeres was awarded the penalty, and then he got his hat-trick. And then when we also analyze his season shot map and look at where he does score his goals, a lot of them do come, if not all of them, do come from inside the box. This guy is a real goal-scoring threat that any goalkeeper would fear. And then if you also look at where he does shoot the ball inside the net on the right side, most of his goals do go on the right side. And what's crazy about this player is that I don't even see a weak foot on him. Like, he's great with his left and also great with his right. So it does make him very dangerous. And I believe that this should be our top priority. And of course, if he does continue to go down with this form. Now, I know that there has been some debate on not signing Gyökeres because he does play in the Portuguese league. It's not one of the best leagues in the world, right? Many are saying that he needs to do this in the Premier League or in the Spanish league or in the German league. But here's the thing. This guy does not back down in any of the Champions League matches. He always shows up for his team, and I think that he can do it in any game and within any league. And many have said that, okay, because Gyökeres may not do well in the Premier League or in La Liga, Barcelona should sign someone like Sesko, who is a younger striker that is like 21 or 22 years old. But I don't think that would be ideal. I believe that if we want to have Lewandowski replaced in about 2 years from today, Gyökeres makes much more sense because he is at the prime of his career. He's 27 years old. Gyökeres is not like 20, 21, 22 years old. Sesko is. And if we do want to make that transition between Sesko and Erling Haaland and Lewandowski will need to keep this up for the next 3 to 4 years at the very least, so Sesko can finally find his form when he does reach 24, 25 years old. We don't have time for that. I believe that having Gyökeres at 26, 27 years old is an instant impact, just like Dani Olmo, who's also 26 years old. I also don't believe that he'll have no trouble adapting to La Liga because his first touch is really good. Like if you go look at his performance against Man City, his first touch is amazing. His speed with the ball is also amazing. The way that he makes those runs behind the defense, he reads the game very well. These are qualities that Vitor Roque, a player that we did introduce back in January 2024, he does lack in those departments. His control is not that great, which is why he's going to a different club, which is Real Betis, and they're moving away from that. They want to have Gyökeres because his first touch is much better. So like I have said, his goals and assists is amazing, but then when you add in his touches, his movements, his on and off the ball positioning, that, my friends, is where we do need to judge him, and he really does excel in those areas. So now let's move on towards the next topic, and let's talk about Real Madrid versus AC Milan. Real Madrid did lose to AC Milan 3-1. It was a successful hate watch. I loved this match, and not just because Real Madrid lost at their home yet again, right? They have conceded 7 goals at their own home and only scored 1 in the past 2 home matches. Like, yeah, that was great, but the best thing from all of this is that as an American, to see Christian Pulisic and Yunus Musa start in this game, it was amazing, and they were wrecking havoc through the midfield. Christian Pulisic also had an assist in this match, and that is how AC Milan were able to score their first goal. Christian Pulisic put in the ball into the box from the corner, and the defender scored the first goal. Emerson eventually did foul Vinicius. Vinicius fell to the ground like a little wuss he is, and Vinicius got awarded the penalty, and he scored the goal. Then we do have Morata running into the box after a block from Lunin, because we saw Rafael Leao shoot the ball. Lunin could not grab the ball. He had to block it, but it went straight to Morata. Morata was running straight with ease to touch the ball, and all he had to do was tap in, and he got the goal. It was very easy. And then there was like this other moment where we saw Leao, a player that we have talked about before, running down the flank. Militao tries to like take down Leao, but Leao is just too strong, very similar to how Gyökeres is, right? These physical monsters, right, up top are really evolving. We usually never see left wingers or strikers like become very, very physical, but they are, right? Leao, Gyökeres, these are physical monsters. Leao was running down the flank. Militao falls because he could not push him successfully. He makes a cross into the box, and one of the players of AC Milan did score. So it was amazing to see. But if you did not watch the match and you do not even know the score line, and you look at SofaScore, you can see that SofaScore were like on crack. They were on something. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if it was like weed or something, but they were so high trying to rate these players. How are you going to have Vinicius at 7.8 and Kylian Mbappe at 8.2, which are higher numbers and higher ratings to AC Milan's attack? Like, oh my God, bro. Like, what is going on here? The PR of Madrid is insane. Like, is Madrid trying to pay SofaScore a certain amount of money to make them look good on paper so the fans can be like, oh my God, look how great Vinicius and Kylian Mbappe were? Like, if you actually saw the game and you truly self-analyzed Real Madrid, you would understand that Mbappe and Vinicius had horrible games. Bellingham had horrible games. Luka Modric, horrible game. Tchouaméni, horrible game. But they got rated 7.1, 7.0, 7.1. It looked like a great game for Madrid, but that was not the reality. Like, bro, really, you're gonna have Morata at 7.4, who scored a goal against Madrid, and then you do have Mbappe at 8.2, who did not do a damn thing, not a single thing. This is PR. This is great PR coming from the media to inflate Real Madrid and their ratings. And I'm letting you guys know right now, like, this team of Madrid is horrible. It is horrible. How are you going to score only 1 goal in the past 2 home matches with Bellingham, Mbappe, and Vinicius up top? I don't understand that. I just don't get it. This is what happens when you fail to have a sporting plan, and now you have to face a team like Barcelona in the league that have a real sporting plan. They brought in Kylian Mbappe with no plan. They just said, oh, because he has a big name and because Mbappe always loved Madrid, let's just sign him. We'll figure it out, right? No sporting plan at all. And now they're trying to figure out how are they going to fit Mbappe and Vinicius together. Benzema recently, about a day ago, just said that Mbappe is not a number 9 and he can play on the left wing. But the problem is you do have a great left winger at Madrid, and that is Vinicius, right? So Madrid, we're not even thinking. Whoever's the sporting director or whoever's making these like decisions, we're not even thinking. They said, oh yeah, I know that Mbappe, you know, he plays in the same position of Vinicius, but let's just sign him. Screw it, because you know what? They're gonna figure it out. They're big names. They have self-confidence. They know what to do. They know how to play football. Let's just do our thing, sign him, and everything else will fall into its place. No, that's not how it works. That's not how football works at all. If Madrid truly did have a great sporting plan, they would have said no to Mbappe because they have Vinicius. Like, what are you guys thinking? Like, I saw Mbappe play on he's basically the right winger for Madrid. To summarize it up, Mbappe is the right winger for Madrid, and he hates playing that position. I can tell. He plays with no emotion, no enthusiasm. It's just, it's nothing. It's just Madrid play horrible football. I would be so mad if I was a Madrid fan and had to pay like $50, $70, or $90 to watch Madrid play and waste 2 hours of my life. I would hate that. And I saw moments where Vinicius, right, he had the ball, and then Kylian Mbappe was like over here, right here, I'm open. But Vinicius, because he's so freaking egotistical, he tries to take on the players himself to try and score the goal because he wants to win the Ballon d'Oro, a trophy that he never deserved in the first place, right? He tried to make a case, man. He said that Vinicius should be winning the Ballon d'Oro because of his goals, etc., etc. But then you look at Rodri, right, a central defensive midfielder that has amazing stats, has many goals, many assists as a central defensive midfielder. That is way more impressive than someone like Vinicius, who barely can reach the goal rate of a regular left winger like Rashford. Vinicius did nothing impressive. It's all just PR. Rodri deserved that trophy, and now Vinicius is over here saying, I have, he has this agenda about trying to score goals himself, and it's over. It's over. When the moment you have Vinicius being egotistical and wanting to win the Ballon d'Oro again, it's over, because he's gonna want to think for himself and not for the team. And now you do have Kylian Mbappe there. He also wants to win the Ballon d'Oro for some reason, and now you have chaos. Now you have tensions. Now it's a disaster for Madrid, and I love that. I really do love that. I pray every day for Madrid's downfall, and it's finally happening. I love everything that has been going on with Madrid. I really do pray that they continue to lose every game, and that Mbappe and Vinicius eventually punch each other on the field so we can all laugh and enjoy. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.